Quit Like a Millionaire by Kristy Shen and Bryce Leung. Imagine waking up every morning without the dread of a soul-sucking commute, without a boss breathing down your neck, and without watching the clock tick painfully slow until you can escape work. Sounds like a dream, right? Kristy Shen and Bryce Leung, the authors of Quit Like a Millionaire, don't just dream about this, they made it a reality. But here's the twist. They didn't become millionaires by winning the lottery or inheriting a fortune. They simply used smart financial strategies, disciplined saving, and savvy investing to retire early, at just 33 years old, in one of the most expensive cities on earth, Vancouver. Their story isn't just inspiring. It's a practical blueprint for anyone who's tired of the daily grind, but worried that financial freedom is a far-off fantasy. Quit Like a Millionaire isn't a fluffy, follow your dreams manifesto. It's a brutally honest, detailed, and approachable guide filled with real numbers, setbacks, lessons, and laughs. Kristy and Bryce show that early retirement is not just for Wall Street wizards or tech billionaires. It's accessible to ordinary people willing to get intentional about their money. Chapter 1. The Myth of the Millionaire Lifestyle. The book kicks off by debunking a common misconception: that you need $1 million stashed away to quit working. That number looms in our cultural imagination like a magical threshold, but Kristy and Bryce clarify early on that the magic number varies wildly depending on your lifestyle, spending habits, and location. For them, millionaire isn't about flashing cash or luxury yachts. It's about financial independence, the freedom to choose how you spend your time. They highlight the crucial difference between wealth and financial freedom. Wealth is often measured by your net worth, but financial freedom is about your ability to cover your expenses without working. By focusing on your expenses rather than your income or net worth, you get a clearer, more actionable picture of how much money you actually need. This perspective alone can shift how you think about retirement. Instead of chasing an abstract $1 million goal, you focus on building a sustainable income stream from your investments, enough to cover your real life expenses. Chapter 2. The Power of Frugality and Conscious Spending. You can't quit like a millionaire if you're spending like a millionaire, or worse, like you're on a never-ending shopping spree fueled by credit cards. Kristy and Bryce are refreshingly candid about their frugal lifestyle, which isn't about deprivation but about conscious choices. They highlight that frugality doesn't mean giving up what you love. It means eliminating what doesn't add value. One of the core lessons is learning to distinguish between wants and needs, but more importantly, questioning the assumptions behind your spending habits. Why buy a $5 latte every morning if it adds zero happiness and drains your budget? Why live in a sprawling, expensive apartment if a smaller place could do just fine? The authors share personal anecdotes about cutting back on non-essential expenses, from fancy dinners to expensive gym memberships, without sacrificing their happiness. What's more, they introduce the idea that every dollar you save early has outsized power thanks to compound interest. That daily coffee isn't just $5 lost. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential future gains. This chapter is peppered with humor, like how Bryce once tried to save money by making instant noodles every day, only to nearly lose his taste buds. But the takeaway is clear. Frugality isn't about being miserable, it's about being mindful and intentional, paving the way for financial independence. Chapter 3. The Magic of Investing. Saving alone won't cut it. You need to make your money work for you. And that's where investing comes in. Kristy and Bryce dismantle the intimidation many feel about the stock market, investing jargon, and financial advisors. They make a compelling case for passive investing, especially through low-cost index funds, which track the overall market without the hassle and expense of picking individual stocks. They explain how they used simple, well-researched strategies to grow their wealth steadily without gambling on risky, get-rich-quick schemes. They also emphasize that investing isn't about timing the market, which even experts fail at, but about time in the market. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow exponentially. What's refreshing is how transparent they are about their mistakes and lessons learned. For example, Kristy shares her anxiety over market crashes and how she learned to stay calm rather than panic sell. This chapter serves as both a financial primer and a psychological guide, showing that investing is as much about emotional discipline as about numbers. Chapter 4. Overcoming Obstacles and Fears. No path to early retirement is without its bumps, and Kristy and Bryce don't sugarcoat the challenges they faced. Fear of running out of money, societal pressure to conform, and the psychological hurdles of leaving a traditional career path are all real. They share how they dealt with the fear of outliving their savings by creating a detailed withdrawal plan and building a buffer of extra savings for emergencies. They also talk about how family and friends reacted skeptically, sometimes discouraging them, which added emotional strain. Yet, they leaned on each other's support and stayed committed to their plan. What stands out here is their encouragement to embrace discomfort. Early retirement isn't a one-way street to paradise. It requires courage to say no to instant gratification, resilience in the face of doubts, and faith in a vision of freedom that's different from the norm. Chapter 5: Designing Your Own Retirement. One of the most exciting parts of the book is how Kristy and Bryce redefine retirement itself. It's not just about sitting on a beach waiting to die. It's about living intentionally. They introduce the concept of retirement as a blank canvas, where you get to design a life filled with purpose, passion, and joy. For them, quitting work meant freedom to travel, learn new skills, volunteer, and spend time with loved ones. They discuss the importance of having a post-retirement plan that includes goals, routines, and projects that keep life vibrant and meaningful. This counters the stereotype of retirees as bored or lonely. This chapter is a heartfelt invitation to think deeply about what you want your life to look like when you're free from financial worry. Theirs is a refreshing, hopeful message. Retirement is the start of a new adventure, not the end. Chapter 6: The Power of Side Hustles and Alternative Incomes. While their goal was to retire early, Kristy and Bryce also emphasized the value of multiple income streams. They share stories about side hustles, freelance work, and building passive income sources that didn't require clocking into an office. This approach adds both financial security and flexibility. They encourage readers to develop skills, build small businesses, or invest in real estate as ways to generate income outside of a traditional job. Even after quitting, these alternative incomes can provide purpose and keep money flowing, reducing anxiety. This chapter underscores the modern reality that retirement doesn't have to mean zero work. It means freedom to work on your own terms. Chapter 7: Navigating Taxes, Insurance, and Financial Planning. Financial freedom isn't just about saving and investing. It's also about navigating the less glamorous but crucial parts of money management. Kristy and Bryce dive into tax strategies, health insurance, and estate planning, sharing how they optimize their finances to protect their wealth. They debunk myths around complicated tax shelters, showing that simple, legal tax optimization can make a big difference. They also discuss how to plan for unexpected expenses and protect yourself from financial shocks, which can derail even the best plans. This chapter is practical and reassuring, equipping readers with tools to build a solid foundation for lasting financial independence. Chapter 8: Living Your Values and Finding Happiness. In the final chapters, Kristy and Bryce come full circle, reminding readers that money is a tool, not the goal. Their journey wasn't just about quitting their jobs, but about aligning their lifestyle with their deepest values. They share how financial independence allowed them to focus on what truly matters: relationships, health, learning, and giving back. The freedom to say no to societal expectations and yes to a life designed on their terms brought them happiness. They stress that your version of quitting like a millionaire might look very different, and that's okay. The key is living authentically and intentionally, using money as a means to create a fulfilling life. Final thoughts: freedom is a journey, not a destination. Quit Like a Millionaire is much more than a finance book. It's a heartfelt, practical, and refreshingly honest roadmap to escaping the 9-to-5 treadmill without selling your soul. Kristy Shen Bryce Leung's story shows that early retirement is achievable not through luck, but through deliberate choices, disciplined saving, smart investing, and a clear vision of what freedom means to you. Their journey isn't perfect. There are moments of doubt, sacrifice, and trial, but it's deeply human and relatable. They invite readers not just to dream about quitting, but to plan and act toward a life where work is a choice, not a necessity. This book is a beacon for anyone who feels trapped by the conventional career path and yearns for something more: a life of financial freedom, purpose, and joy. And best of all, it shows you don't need a magic million. You just need a plan, patience, and a little bit of courage.